Hey everyone, I'm back with my May TBR list, which was actually very small. It was just one book. I chose to read Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard. Originally, I had a hard time understanding this in the physical book, so I actually downloaded the Hoopla app and paired it up with my library card, so I actually could borrow the audiobook version of this. And the audiobook, I had no problem understanding it being read to me. And I think that was the key part, was it was being read to me where I wasn't physically reading the book. But I really did enjoy this. I'm actually going to be doing a reread of this in July as a buddy read with one of my book friends. But this story is about Mare Barrow, and this is the first of a 4-book series, I believe. And Mare is a child of red blood. This book, there are red blood and silver blood people. The silvers are basically royalty and they control everything, and the reds are the servants and like the townspeople. And silvers always look down on reds, but every year there's an event called First Friday, and it's where a red and a silver fight each other, or two silvers can fight each other depending on how they want to make up the rules for that year. The very beginning of it, them talking about First Friday, reminded me a lot of the Hunger Games. Those of you who have read it know exactly what I'm talking about with the reaping. But in Mare's case, she is going to be 18 and up for conscription, which means she will have to go to war. Her 3 older brothers were already taken away to war when they were 18, and her younger sister Giza is still at home, but she's actually able to work. She actually embroiders the silk handkerchiefs and the scarves and like dresses for the silvers, so she's of value to them, so they more than likely would not make her join the army. Unlike Mare, she's reckless, she's a thief. Her and her friend Killorn, they go through and steal things, whether it's food or electricity vouchers, to help their families out. But Killorn is also, at the beginning of the story, he's actually an apprentice, and his master ends up dying, so his apprenticeship is now null and void, and now he is actually up for conscription, and they're actually going to be coming to take him away to war very shortly. Mare is upset because her best friend is going to be taken away from her, and she's also worried about herself, and she goes to a woman named Farley who says she can help him escape, but it's going to cost this exorbitant amount of money that Mare does not have. Her family is very poor. Her father came back injured from the war. He actually has a contraption in his chest for a lung to help keep him alive. And Killorn's father was killed in the war, and his mother left when he was very little. But with Mare, she steals enough to survive, and she goes with her sister to the Silver Village, and unfortunately there's an accident and her sister's hand is broken, and she's now crippled and cannot do her embroidery, so now she would more than likely, when she turns 18, be sent to war as well. And Mare doesn't want to do that. She's trying to protect her sister, she's trying to protect Killorn and herself. So her and Killorn escape their village in the stilts, which is like the lowest of low income areas that you could be in. Kind of reminds me of District 12. And Mare and Killorn go on this adventure, and at one point she gets picked up by the Silvers, not knowing that one of the crown princes likes to roam out in the village and pretty much get to know who the people are and see them and how they react and what they think of the Silvers and the royal family. The prince that she comes across is actually Cal, and he's actually first in line for the throne. And his younger brother Maven is his stepmother's son. Cal's mom died when he was young, and he didn't know by whom or if it was just natural. He didn't know. All he knew is that she died. And the king actually gives Mare an ultimatum. Either she goes to war or she can pretend to be the lost Silver Princess. She agrees only because she knows it will save her friend's life and prevent him from going to war. So she becomes the lost Silver Princess and has to be engaged to one of the sons. And there's this little competition because all of the Silver women have special abilities, and Mare doesn't think she is special, but it turns out she can actually control lightning, and she can use it to her ability, to her will, and make it do what she wants it to do. She can have flames come out of her hand, sparks, so she can control electricity basically. And all the other Silver women are terrified of her, all but one. She actually, one girl that's basically her nemesis, controls minds, and she can inflict pain without even touching them. So she gets upset because Mare likes Cal, but is forced to be engaged to his younger brother, Prince Maven. And Maven seems really nice, a great guy. He's very shy, really awkward, but it turns out he's really the villain of the story. They end up meeting the Red Guard, who Farley is a member of. And the Red Guard, they're actually out there protecting the villagers and the different people of the different towns from the Silvers and trying to regain order and make sure everything is even between Silver and Red, where the Silvers just want total dominance and control. The Red Guard wants to smooth things out and make it more equal. They end up joining up with the Red Guard to help protect the people, and that's when Maven finds out that there is a list of other Reds who have abilities that don't know it. He turns around and tells his mother, the Queen, and she kills her husband, the King, and her son Maven blame the King's death on Cal and Mare Barrow. So of course Mare and Cal have to escape. Now they're on the run from the Silver Army, from now King Maven and his mother. And she finds out that one of her brothers, who she thought was dead, was actually joined up into the Red Guard instead. They go on they go to a lot of different places trying to escape the Silvers. And the book ends pretty much with them escaping one time, but also getting ready to be caught for the second book, which is actually called Glass Sword. And I'm actually listening to Glass Sword on audiobook right now. But with Red Queen, I'm actually going to be doing the reread for this in July. Sorry about that, I had to take a quick break. Like I was saying, I'm doing a buddy read of Red Queen in July with a friend of mine, and I'm actually going to be rereading it at that point. I'm going to reread the physical copy of it and try not to listen to the audiobook again unless I get stuck in sections where I have a hard time understanding it. But I have a 5-star rating. I will definitely give this a 5-star. And I do want to get a hold of the rest of the series. I know there is Glass Sword is the second book. Then there is King's Throne and Winter Crown, I believe it is, or Winter Storm. So I will definitely be getting a hold of those books to be able to finish out the series. But for those of you who did like Red Queen, let me know what your thoughts were down below in the comments. You know, did you like Cal over Maven or Mare over one of the other Silver Princesses with their abilities? Who was your favorite character from this story? So until next time, I hope you guys are well, stay safe, and happy reading.